questions, and I've got Yasmine who mentioned using the pen for her husband and so on for high blood pressure and that. Perhaps we can hear from her. She's a female from Sugar Land, Texas.
Yes, Sugar Land, Texas.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Keshe, and everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. My husband has been with high blood pressure for several months. We have all the registers, and he has been tested by a doctor. And we start to using the pen yesterday as using the food diagram, and then we test the regular pressure was 147 dash 93. In the first test we did with the pen, the low pressure went down 167 to 97 dash 97.
Can you repeat that, please?
Yes, was 196
Yes.
dash 97. I mean that when we did the first using the pen was so high.
Before you use the pen or after?
The first time we use it, like the first treatment, like the first treatment, and also I have the pictures with the measure. Let me show you.
People take us to our home. They trust us that much.
You will see the hawas.
Can you bring it up that we can see it? You see the picture yourself. We don't see it.
No. I'm going to put in the image. Then you will see it. Everybody will see without pen. Okay, it's just hold on, please. Just hold on.
Just calm down. Just take your time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the first one. This is his regular pressure, blood pressure.
14/8.
142/3 was he can do less than this, always in 140.
Yeah.
In the first treatment with the pen, we got 165.
Yeah.
92.
It's gone up.
Very, very high, and was just 3 minutes.
Yeah.
We did in the two finger. Well, I don't know the name in English.
The thumb.
In the thumb, right. After that, the pressure went down to 130. But the funny thing, I couldn't take it. Well, the equipment, the display was black. I couldn't take it immediately, but was 130, so was like the half of what we tasted. Then in the third treatment, we got 143, 94, and the last treatment we got 148-92. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
But what's funny, when I didn't mention that. I just realized when you talk something about the plasma or the plaque thing. When I was the one who was putting the pen. I saw like a hole in the first treatment. I saw like a hole in his skin, but I was thinking maybe it was my eyes or I was tired. But when I was just taking the time and rereading the blueprint that somebody in the school has, then I saw a blue light in the area where my husband was, because he was laid down on the bed. But was with my narrow eye. But when I was doing the directly and focus and thinking in his benefit and his health, also I felt the pain. The first time I also felt the pain, like a connection. But I saw this black or gray energy, like the whole, as you explained, or maybe it's something different. But, maybe you can tell me more. But this is what we were doing yesterday for his high blood pressure. He also has record in his phone all the pressure for 3 months. So we want to start to improve his health with the pen.
But do you see, you're hoping, or do you think you can achieve it, or have you achieved anything yet in one day?
I think, well, I was very excited that I could solve the second going down very fast. I really believe that. Because this, I have seen all this, all what you have been doing, and makes sense everything you have said. I mean, well, what my mind can understand, but to me it was amazing to have a communication with the pen. I was kind of a skeptic. I was believing, but until as a scientist, as a mind scientist, you always want to see if it works. So the pen, I feel, because in the protocol you have the blueprint says that you need to test it in your hand first, and I feel the energy. Also, with my son today, I just put close the pen to him, and he woke up like fussy and crying, but now he's very happy and give me kisses. I am thinking it's happening. And also when we build it, as you said, it's bring us like together, a togetherness, because we build the pen together, and we bought materials, we talk with our friends. Heather, that is the one that invite us, Heather Bryant, and I think it's bring us peace as a family.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
What will be nice if you can come back in a few days or weeks, tell us what is the outcome of the use. What will be interesting for the people who use these pens is you have lost the reality about the pen. You are looking at the tip, but if you just hold the pen in your hand, because of its structure, it gives you more and it takes more to bring you balance. The tip of the pen is for localized. You can just hold the pen and the pen brings you a lot of balance. This is what it is. A lot of people just look at the tip. This is what I'm going to put on the pen. But the energy of these pens is like holding that maggraph system which I showed. You can hold it and it brings you peace. You can hold it for 10 minutes, 5 minutes and put it down. And you hold it back again in 10 or 15 minutes or next hour, or 2 or 3 times a day. It takes what you don't need. Don't forget, we keep on saying 80% of the energy you absorb comes from your environment. but at the same time, you can't absorb 80% if you don't put 85% into the environment. Because part of the we eat food is to subsidize what we put extra into the environment too. That's why we generate heating in respect to our environment. So if people start now understanding the next step, that these pens, the ones you made and the way you use it, you're looking for the energy at the tip. What about the energy of itself? It is a system. Very simple. Very simple. But so you got to start learning how to use these systems as totality, not just when there is a pain. You want a peace, you want to be peaceful. You feel an energy in your body which is not there, or you want to be there. Just hold the pen 2 times a day. It becomes by the way you hold toothbrush or you hold the pen. Do that.
Mr. Keshe, can I make a question?
Yeah.
When I was doing the acupressure, or I feel also like has something pointed. As you see, it's not pointed. I got like yes, something with point, and as you see, has not pointed. What is that? Is energy or is?
It's energy. We've seen it in the ice block, which is shown. Can I ask you what you do? You said you're a scientist or you're a housewife scientist, the new generation of scientists?
I am the new generation of scientists. I am a housewife. And I am, yes.
We call you Mrs. Professor Penn.
Yes, and I really want something better for my son and the peace of humanity. I believe so. So
thank you very much.
Deeply. Thank you.
Bring back to us, let us know more what you're learning, and we'll see what we go. But don't rely, especially with the high blood pressure, to hold the pen at a specific point.
Oh, okay.
You can hold the pen and you still transfer the energy in and out. You don't need to pinpoint it. It'll be very nice. It'll be very nice. I'll give you a tip I gave somebody else recently.
Okay.
Give the pen to him, make a salt water, and keep the tip of the pen in the salt water and let him hold. It literally drains the energy which is surplus the body wants to find balance with. You might find a very good result with the blood pressure.
Wow.
This is what we do. If you noticed last Thursday, where we saw the doctor from Mexico building the system, he was showing us, he showed you a bucket of salt where the energy is dumped. You have in the house a cup of salt. Make a cup of salt. While you're holding these pens, just tip the tip into the salt water. In dumping, if there is no energy, you see, you have to understand what the high blood pressure is. I've explained this a lot of time. In our body, the length of the blood vessels are fixed, and the amount of the blood in these blood vessels are fixed. You cannot change it. We are born with it. At any age, we produce a certain amount of blood, and the blood vessels is like pipelines. You can't extend it by 2 meters extra if you are under pressure. So the emotional feeling, which is radiated from the emotional part of the body of the man, in radiating out, interacts with the metal components or semi-metals, or with the plasma within the blood, which is partially to do with emotion and exchange with physicality. So it becomes like a heating. It expands the volume of the liquid part, in a way expands the separation of the plasma inside the blood vessels. And then that creates a pressure, because the volume is fixed, the pipe size is the only thing which can go up from the radiation, from the stress, from the emotion, is to the expand of the, blood vessels. So high blood pressure is connected with the emotion which interacts with physicality. So if you dump the energy which you collect through the pen into a dumper, which the salt water is one of the best, would you release the energy, you get a better results than just putting a pen on certain point on the finger? Now you use the whole totality of it. This is what we said. Now that a lot of people are making a lot of things, we start going into depth, more detail, what it is, how it can be used. It's not just keep on creating pens and doing things and say it does this, I did this and that. Holding a pen the way you do it, you transfer the energy which you want the balance in your emotion and physicality. Let him hold the pen and put it in the salt water. A glass of salt water is good enough. If you have one of these lead blocks, you know, you go to the garage to balance your tire, the other piece of lead usually to balance it. If you have those and put it in a cup and just in a salt water cup and let it do, because lead absorbs energy. That's why we have problem with a lot of people with the high lead content environments, because it takes a lot of energy. When it takes energy, you deplete from the energy of the environment. So start using these pens the way gradually they are meant to, not just by the pinpoint. It's not the acupuncture, it's the totality of emotion from your hand.
Mr. Keshe, I want to ask you another question. In this area that we live, is what they call season allergy. That in this
What?
season allergy, and
Yeah.
everybody feels, including me, my husband, very. But a lot of people we know, even in the school of my son, everybody has this constipation and also weakness in the body. It's like you have like a flu, but you don't have the flu. And can we use also the pen for that?
Is
You
that
can,
the hay fever that you were speaking of, Mr. Kesh?
Well,
yeah,
yes.
it's seasonal. It comes with, it's not a hay fever. It somehow comes with usually it starts around first, second week of April and it goes to beginning of June, mid-June. It's with pollen increase in the environment. I suffer from it heavily.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on a time of the year, but usually it starts with a very heavy cold, and then it goes like this for about 3-4 weeks, and then disappears overnight. Uh, it's to do with the stress balance, the body trying to change from the winter to the summer season, more than anything else. We see, this is what I think, but because it doesn't matter where you are, you're in an office, suddenly it comes, you're sitting in the car, suddenly it's there. It's not that you pass through somewhere and the pollens are there. And it just comes and goes according to the change of the stress. It's like what I said here in Italy, where we are. We're coming into April, May. They call it a sleepy grip month because out of nowhere you just fall asleep. Rest of the year doesn't happen. Just this time. The Italians tell you, am I correct? You go call it a sleeping time.
Yes.
During the day you just fall asleep.
Yes, I want to sleep very, very much. Mm-hmm.
So try, one thing will be interesting to expand on the knowledge is make 2 of these pens
Okay.
and hold one in one hand and one in the other. And put one of the pens into a salt water that you absorb, you create a misbalance that the energy has to go through your body. This is exactly what I showed with the system which was shown at the beginning of the teaching today. You create a difference by dumping, and then the energy from one pen has to come across the body to the other, plus the environment which is within it. So you might get a better result because cholesterol and high blood pressure are literally what we haven't put a name to it, but in reality it's a psychosomatic. It's the emotion which manifests itself in physicality. What we call the high blood pressure, and we walk off. But if you understand the principle behind it, how it happens, the way it interacts with this environment, and what you take from the environment, then You understand very easily high blood pressure, especially is a psychosomatic. There is no other thing for it. You can reduce the salt, you can reduce everything, but you don't solve it. But if you sort out the problem psychologically, you find that it disappears overnight.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Very much.